welcome back to the Aerospace Executive Podcast. As always, I am still Craig Picken. A couple of interesting things have happened over the last couple of weeks, and I think it's a good time to, as people are starting to evaluate opportunities and companies are thinking about what, they're feeling some pinches and some shortages of talent and people, and they're trying to figure out, how to take things to a new level when it comes to, executive talent, professional talent, things of the sort. It just comes so, quick scenario. I took a guy out of process a couple of weeks ago, and it was an interesting. I'm doing a search for director of aftermarket, and it's a $1 billion company and director level, and had been talking to a fellow for a couple of weeks, and sensed some hesitation, and I'm like, what's up? You're all geeked up about it. You're starting to get less geeked about it. What's up? And he said, he goes, hey, look, I think this needs to be a higher level position. And my answer back to him was, why? Why does it need to be a higher level position? We talked about kind of a, cash comp type deal early on, nice bonus, ability to lead a team. And he kept coming back and saying it needs to be a higher position. And I mean, well, why? Why does it need to be a higher position? And he couldn't give me an answer. He's like, it just because. I'm like, yeah, okay, because. Because why? Well, just because it needs to be a better position. And ultimately what it came down to is what I wasn't hearing in the conversation from him was this. If you make it a higher level position and give me the latitude to do 3 or 4 things that I feel would need to be done, this is what I could accomplish. At no time did I ever hear that in the conversation. And I think that's the thing that gave me most concern is, I couldn't get any value. It's why does it need to be a higher position other than just because? And when I pushed him on that, I'm like, if I get this thing elevated and get you a little bit more money and get you the title, what are you bringing to the table that you're not bringing to the table now? And he didn't have an answer. And so ultimately, with that, I just came to the conclusion was this is a fellow who's probably either very happy where he's at, doing well, really doesn't want to be motivated, or really isn't motivated to make a move, or it's somebody who just wants the corner office and a title. Maybe I'm securely in my middle age now, and I realize that the corner office and a title doesn't mean a whole lot in life. I just pushed him on. I said, hey, look, if you can't figure out a way to add value, let's just kill this thing. And then ultimately the conversation went down a little further. We were like, yeah, okay. It's probably just not a good fit. Yeah. Talked to the company, said we're pulling them out. They felt it was a good decision to do as well. But I think now, people look at the job that they're going for, or the position, the title they're going for, and they're looking at it like, this is what I want. This is where I feel like I need to be in life. This is the next progression in my career. And I think let's take a step back and change that conversation. And I think if you really want to get some more money in your pocket, if you really want to get that title, quit asking for, quit asking for the job. Start telling people, this is where I add more value to your organization. This is where my relationships are. This is where my skills lie. And looking at your team and going through the interview, this is what you're missing, and this is what I bring to the table. And if you focus it on that, if you focus it less on what you want and more on what you bring to the table, that equals dollars in your pocket, whether you want to do it or not. And a lot of people just are, they're very, they're understated in their careers. They're understated in how they think of life. They're pretty modest, I guess is a good word. And, sometimes they feel like an aggressive conversation like that is not something they're comfortable with. But, at the end of the day, that's kind of what people are looking for. Where do you bring Where do you bring value to the table? Um, and along the same line, when you're putting your resume together, nobody cares about what you did. Nobody cares that you flew to Indonesia 10 times. Nobody cares that you led a team. Nobody cares that you showed up at work at 8 o'clock in the morning and left at midnight every day and worked 16 hours a day or 18 hours a day or whatever the math works out to. People want to know what you accomplished during the working time that you were there. When you were there, what did you accomplish? So when it comes to telling your story, change your focus. It's not what you did or what you want. It's here's what I've accomplished in life. Here's where I add value in life. And here's why you're going to pay me a whole lot more than I'm making now, because this is the value I bring to your organization. That's the conversation people really want to have and people want to hear. They don't want to interview 20 or 30 people and go, what'd you do? Who'd you work for? What did you think about? It's tell me in 30 seconds or less where you can make me money. There's a CEO I talked to once. His name was Roger Wolf. Roger was he was a great guy, CEO Landmark. He was at Landmark Aviation way back in the day. And, back during the financial crisis, he called me up and we were talking and he's like, "Hey, Craig, look, there's only two people I care about right now. I mean, this is the depths of the financial crisis hell." And he goes, "Look, there's only two people I care about right now. The guy who can make me a lot of money or the guy who can save me a lot of money. Everybody else is overhead." And realistically, if you think about it, the guy who can make him a lot of money or the guy who can save him a lot of money. And when I say guy, that's in generic terms, I mean ladies too. When you think about the person who can save them a lot of money, what that does is it comes back to the balance sheet, and it comes back to who is out there that can help me maximize profit in a time where I really need. Think about your career moving ahead, and you're going, young people especially. Where can I add value? How can I help you maximize profit? What can I bring to the table that will make you want to give me the corner office? And when you think about your career in those terms, it will take off and more money will be put in your pocket and you'll be much happier and you won't be clamoring for that corner office because you'll know your own value proposition. Hey, enjoy the week. Happy Monday. And we'll catch up on the next Aerospace Executive Podcast. In the meantime, if you want to get a hold of me, it's Craig at northstaresg.com. Phone number is 910-509-7129, and website's just northstaresg.com. Thanks for listening.